Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2025 Lexus ES350. Huge shout out to Hendrick Lexus Northlake for providing this sedan for me today. Take a look at the website, that link is down in the description. This ES is finished off in a very beautiful Matador red metallic. MSRP starts just over $43,000. Now this is powered by a 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6 paired to an 8-speed automatic. It pumps out 302 horsepower, 267 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent to the front wheels, propelling this 3,700 pound sedan from 0 to 60 in 6.5 seconds. It has a top speed of 131 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 15.6 gallons. You'll expect to see 22 miles per gallon in the city, 32 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 113 inches. Its overall length is 195.9. It has a width of 73.4, a height of 56.9, and its ground clearance measures in at 6 inches. Now this particular model in front of us is the base model, so there are several trim levels above this. I've even been able to film the ultra luxury, so you can take a look at that separate full detailed review. But for this base model, we have a really nice design, a lot of tech features too, including distance pacing, which is the Lexus sensor, really nice hourglass design for that grille, a lot of chrome for this model too. There's also parking sensors up front, lots of cutouts in that grille too, and then LEDs for all of the lighting with that iconic DRL in the lower section of that housing. There's also more chrome accents on the far edges, which are inlets too, and then some nice lines that come down the hood. You'll notice that there's even a line that goes off of the point of that hourglass design, just to integrate it better into the upper section there. Now, as we take a look at the side for this base model, this has a really nice set of wheels with a two-tone design to them. There's also the side mirrors with the turn signal, and then that three-tone design with more chrome accents. You'll notice it works its way around the window trim too, and then this even gets a sunroof up top. There's also some nice subtle lines that run down the side, just giving it a clean luxury look. So there's no crisp angles or anything, just a nice flowing design. Leading all the way to the back, where there is a backup camera. The chrome in the power trunk actually works its way to the top of the taillight housings, which are of course LED. There's also parking sensors and then more chrome for the exhaust pipes on both sides there. Now, like I said, this model has a power trunk. You can use the button on the key fob or the hidden release over on the right side. And in back, there's a good bit of storage. Now with this model, the back seat does not fold down, but you do get that cutout there if you need to place in any items. There's also some tie-down hooks, and you do get a little bit of storage underneath the floor if you need to place in any items. And then on the left side, there's one control to close that trunk. Now, as we work our way to the interior, this has a great design to it with a two-tone. There's also a light wood trim accent, some gloss black accents, storage down below, and then the two-tone works its way to the interior. Really nice combo with the exterior red. Now at 5'10", I'd say I have a good bit of space. There's storage pockets behind both front seats, vents in the middle, auxiliaries down below. Not much of a bulge in the middle, so if you have a middle passenger, it's not that intrusive. And then I have ½ inch or so of headroom, so I can sit upright and be comfortable in the back. If you're any taller than me, it might be a little bit tight, but it is doable. And then you have the armrest along with two cup holders, and then the door to gain access to the trunk, which you can lock if needed. And then with the pillar right there, it's pretty thin, so you can easily see around this section here. And then up front, for this base model, you have memory seating adjustments, power folding side mirrors, all of the window controls, some more storage down below, and then power operating front seat with the same two-tone design. Now this is a low vehicle, so it's very easy to enter, and we do have the entry and exit. So when I start this up, the seat is actually going to start to move forwards. So hopefully you can see that, just makes it easier to enter and exit. Now this has solid leather steering wheel. There's also the brushed accents for the paddle shifters. On the right side, all of the cruise control settings, lane keeping assist, distance pacing, mode and tuning. Left side, you have volume, Bluetooth and voice commands, and controls for the digital gauge cluster. So for the current layout, you'll notice fuel and engine temperature on that right side, tach, miles per hour, what gear you're in, are front and center. And then over on the left side, you have a lot of information that you can scroll through. So you can use the arrows on the left side of the steering wheel and get through quite a lot. There's even a lot of standard safety features that you can also go through and turn these on and off just depending on how you want them to respond. So it's nice that you have all of that available. Now on the left side, you do get a little bit of storage. There's also the fuel cap, liftgate release, trim accent underneath, one air vent with more of the wood trim there. There's also leather on top where you'll notice we have more controls on both sides. So for the left control, this is for traction control. So just push on it to activate that. The stock on the right side is for the different driving modes. So you have eco, a sport mode, and then normal just by using that stock. Now for this base model, you do get the smaller screen in the middle. So there's the clock on the left side. And then with the screen in the middle, you can still go through a good bit of information, just a little bit smaller, of course. So you can pull up the navigation when you have that paired. You can get into music along with your phone. There's also some different settings here. You can get into all of the climate adjustments. You have heated and ventilated seats and a heated steering wheel, so you can get through all of that. And then there's some trip information, some other vitals like that, and a lot of settings to go through to set this up the way that you would like. So while it is a smaller screen, it still provides you with all of that information. Now there's air vents underneath that, and then a row of physical controls. Temperature dials are on the far edges, fan speeds in the middle where you like the air to go, some defrosters too, and then radio adjustments underneath that with power, tuning, and volume as two dials integrated into one. Now underneath the engine start stop button is the e-brake, and then you do get physical controls for the heated and ventilated seats and heated steering wheel, which is nice to see. You have a little bit of storage with some auxiliaries in front of the shifter. There's two cup holders, and then with this in reverse, you have the backup camera, and then it looks like you have two different views along with the guidelines being adjustable. Now you can also shift using the shifter or the paddle shifters. Auto hold is behind that. Wireless charging is just behind that too. And then you have a lot of auxiliaries in the center armrest as well as storage. There's also plenty of storage in the glove box. And then garage door buttons up top, touch sensitive dome lights, and adjustments for the sunroof. The sunshade is manual adjusting there. And here's a look at visibility. It's pretty easy to see. So this sedan offers a lot of glass and a lot of visibility. So as we jump behind the wheel now for the ES350, I really haven't been around this sedan that often. I was able to check out an ultra luxury earlier this year for the 25-year model. So now we're going all the way down to the base model, right around $43,000. Doesn't seem all that bad for a nice luxury and refined feeling sedan. Now the ES model is also a little bit on the larger side, especially when you compare it to the IS models from Lexus. So if you're looking for just a little bit bigger of a vehicle, you can get some more leg space basically for your backseat passengers. This is a really nice option to go with. And the fact that for this base model, we have a lot of creature comforts that are standard for this. Power folding side mirrors, heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel. It's really nice to see that amount of tech for the base model. So of course you can add some other options, different wheels, things like that as you get into the higher trim levels. But for even the base model, this is a really nice model to drive. Now let's put it into sport mode, and we can also use the paddle shifters or the shifter down below. And the 3.5 liter V6 definitely has a good bit of power to it. It is shared with a lot of other Lexus models. And with a mild acceleration, we're up to speed. So if you're looking for a bulletproof engine, maybe you're not a 4-cylinder fan, which Lexus does offer in some of their other models, this has pretty much one of their most reliable engines for this model here. So this is a vehicle that you can drive for decades if you're looking for a brand new vehicle, something you want to keep for a long time. And with that, it's also going to provide you with a really nice ride. This has been super smooth, very comfortable. There's no road noise, wind noise. It's what you would expect for a vehicle like this. And it's not all that expensive when you compare it to some of the other competitors. The average price of a new vehicle today, this is even less than that. And you can get a really nice, reliable, and luxury-focused ride. And we are still in sport mode, second gear. Here we go. And just a mild acceleration. This has a lot more potential. Now it's not a quick vehicle, but it has power to get up and move, to merge, get out of its own way. It definitely is going to give you the power you need to get up and moving. And the fact that we have a few different driving modes is nice to see. So they are functional. So if we go down into third gear, I'm going to have to give it a little bit more gas to get up and move. So just depending on the throttle response that you like, maybe you're out on the highway and you don't want quite as much throttle response just cruising, you can use this stock and go through the functional modes there. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the ES350. Definitely a nice place to be. And the paddles are pretty responsive too, which is nice. They're super smooth in the gear changes, which is what you would expect for this luxury style sedan. So they're virtually non-existent in feeling them both for the up and down shifts there. So a nice smooth transition. This also handles pretty well. Again, it's not a performance-oriented model, but you can get an ES350 F Sport, which I believe will have the F Sport tuned suspension. So if you're looking for maybe a little bit better handling characteristics, you can go with a model like that. But for normal day-to-day driving with the style of driving for this model, it seems to handle very well for this setup. And it's just a nice vehicle. So for the price, it is pretty basic, but that's what a lot of Toyota and Lexus owners like. You just want to get in, maybe pair your phone, you're good to go. And then you have some physical buttons to use to control some of the vitals here. So I think it's a really nice setup. Not a ton of bells and whistles to get overcomplicated or confused by. And it offers you a very nice ride. So super impressive for the base model 350. Now real quick, as far as maneuverability goes, like I said, it is a little bit longer of a vehicle. So let's see what we can do here with a UE if we have to go into reverse. A little bit wide, but it is doable. So it's going to still be easy to maneuver in parking lot situations and things like that. But that will wrap it up for the 2025 Lexus ES350. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick Lexus Northlake for providing this sedan for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.